everybody, and welcome back to No Facts with Jenn. Hope everybody had a wonderful week, and we are here with a special guest. Her name is Melissa, but we
Hey
call her Muffy
guys.
or Birdsong.
Hey guys, how's it going? I'm here with my bestie Jen, making
I
this.
have known her for so long, and oh my gosh, let's not get into half the stuff we've done together.
Look, we can't even speak on some of the stuff we did together.
We have done some crazy stuff together. I just
What I've known
recently,
you
huh?
for 6 years. I've known you for 6 years now.
Ooh, longer than that.
Yeah, because I got to Canada in 2013, so 7 years. It's like my whole adult life. Well, almost. Not gonna spill my age, but no.
I'm older than you. Stop.
Barely.
So tell us a little bit about yourself. You're in Dallas.
I'm in good old Dallas, Texas. I'm from Medford, Oregon, small town in Southern Oregon. I joined the military when I was 20. That's where I met the beautiful Jennifer. I traveled to South Korea, Virginia, New Mexico, and now I'm here in Texas with my husband, living the life
Who would have thought?
in the
Who
Lone Star
thought
State.
that she would be married, cuffed, ball and chained?
Stepmom, like, where did this
Yeah,
all come
stepmom,
from?
everything.
If I ever wrote a book, my memoirs, of my between 18 and 24. It's good 6 years. I balled out for a while.
Anyway, you ready to get into these good old advice columns? Because I found
Let's
some
do
really
it.
good ones.
Let's go. Where do you find these?
Girl, online. So what it is, I want people to actually end up writing me for their advice.
Okay.
So if you go to nofactswithjen.com, selfless plug. If you go to nofactswithjen.com, you see that you can ask for advice on there. And it could be anonymous if they want it to be anonymous. You don't even have to put your real name in there. It could be Bob Billings. I don't care. Just
It's
ask
always
for.
gotta be Bob. I'm
I
really
don't know. I've been obsessed
before
with
it
that
was
name.
Bob. It's always Bob. I'm like, who is
I've been
Bob?
obsessed with that name for I don't know how long. I don't know why everything is Bob. It just is.
It's Bob.
So right now, all I do is I go online and I find articles that other people have given advice to, but we give our own advice to it instead.
I like it.
Yeah. All right.
Down with it. Let's go.
All right. The first one is called "How Can I Convince My Wife to Get Rid of the Sexy Photos Another Woman Sent to Me?" All right.
Sorry, say this again.
All right. Let
How
me
can
repeat
he?
that. How can I convince my wife to get rid of the sexy photos another woman sent me? Let me get into it. Let's because there's stuff to unpack with this one. All right.
Okay.
My wife and I have been married for just a few years. Early in our marriage, I started chatting with a female acquaintance, and things got verbally sexual and eventually led to sexual pictures between the other woman and me. I saved some of the photos to my phone and inadvertently saved them to my computer where my wife found them and downloaded them to her phone. We've gone through marriage counseling together and are working things out. I have since deleted the photos, but my wife still has them. I'm ashamed of the photos and don't want to see them, let alone have my wife keep them. I've tried to delete them from her phone, but the photos keep showing up. When my wife is mad at me, this is the funny part. Hold on. When my wife is mad at me, she changes her lock screen image to one of the photos she's keeping of the other woman. I know I was wrong in the past and would like to move forward, but I find it difficult when my wife keeps the photos. Should I confront my wife or just let it be?
Okay. That's just toxic, toxic, toxic. If who keeps those photos? There's some kind of either jealousy or just kind of you're still holding on. She hasn't forgave you for one, and she's never going to forget for two. But you can't keep looking at those things. Like,
I have a
you're
question though. I want to know, how long ago was this?
he said they were only married a couple years, so
Yeah, but how long ago was it that she found the pictures? You know what I'm saying? Like, if they've been going to marriage counseling, what if they've only gone to like 3 sessions? She's going to still be bitter. She's still going to be angry.
true. And guys believe that they are like, well, I said sorry once.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
no, you gotta like I said sorry, like
I
that's not
said
how it
sorry.
works.
Why isn't everything not good?
That, and I think that just like holding on to something like that, like as women, or even some males do this, but like you want every detail of the situation, but you don't really want it. You want it, but in your head, because you're going to keep replaying those. And her looking at that picture,
That picture, yeah.
she's putting that in the universe that she wants her marriage to fail. Like, just let it go.
I don't even know if it's just that, because probably re-looking at those pictures over and over again is probably literally reopening the wound, like every time.
Exactly.
So if I don't know. So what is your advice to him though? What do you think he should do about this?
I believe that he should confront her or the marriage counselor themselves and talk about that you keep reopening the wound, like we're trying to get past this, because he seems like he's very still in love. He wants to be with her and he made a mistake, and there's a difference between a mistake and a pattern of bad behavior. And I feel like what he's saying, it's a mistake, and if it is just a mistake, either you're in or you're out. Like, delete the pictures and let's us work on us, or keep the pictures and you can be on your merry way if this is never going to get better. So she needs to delete the pictures, and
I
he
think
needs to talk to the counselor to try to get it through to her
I
that
think that's a good idea, because bringing it up during the counseling, I think is better, because it is less. I don't know. It's like when you have that confrontation when somebody else is there and they can kind of give you that advice that you need to continue. I don't know, to fix your marriage or whatever relationship you're in. I don't know, but that's petty
one.
as hell. Why she? First of all, why is
Yeah.
she so petty?
And I wouldn't want my man to keep looking at those pictures. Like, you need to look at what you got. Like, I don't know. I don't know what kind of
Yeah,
fight
and
that
he's
is, but
ashamed
she's
of them too. Like, I definitely think I do agree with you that it probably is a mistake, because he said he's like embarrassed about them and that he knows he's wrong. Like, but you can't, like, she
true.
needs to understand that you can't move forward if you're like continually looking at the past. But at the same time, like, I need a little bit more information, because like if this just happened like not long ago, of course you're not going to expect her to just like
Some
be
guys
over it.
will.
I mean, you
So,
can
like,
expect
I
it, but that don't mean
mean,
that's gonna happen.
sometimes as women, we try to like show it, like, this is what you did, say, like, be sorry. Like, she's looking for another excuse or another sorry. She keeps looking when she does that. Like, but remember what you did. There has to be a time where it's like, I know what I did and let's move forward. And if you don't want to go past this, then we can't continue our marriage. Even how bad that sucks, I feel like it's always going to be like that. She's always going to bring this up. Granted, we don't know how long it's been.
Yeah. So if it's been longer than like 6 months and she's still doing this, there has to be some issues that y'all need to work on.
Yeah, and like marriage counseling obviously isn't helping too much if that's like there's more issues probably.
I think that's the thing too. Maybe there's something else that is going on, and then because who's to say this is the only mistake he's made? You know,
True.
maybe it was something else that he did, and that's why she's always bringing it up. Like, we don't know the full story as to like why she's being. Girl, that's the pettiest
Yeah.
thing I ever read. Is she changes the lock screen?
You're like, actually, that's a good idea to like remember this shit.
Miss
Like,
Petty LaBelle right here, like.
I know that's you. That got Jen written all over it. Is that you
Oh,
actually? Did Elwood call it? It's like,
okay, I promise this was not me.
no.
I did not write that.
You mean petty as can be. I'm not that petty. I'm more the type to just like say sorry if it's easier to just kind of move on, but
Right.
keep the peace.
Okay, let's go on and move on to the next one.
I'm ready.
This one, oh, I meant to say that first one because I like to say where I get them from so people don't be like,
Plagiarizing.
plagiarizing. That was from dig.com. Okay, the other two that I'm about to read from are from freep.com. This one is called Newlywed's Twin Sister is Sleeping with Brother-in-Law. It says, Dear Carolyn, I married the man of my dreams, only to return from our honeymoon to find that my twin sister has been secretly sleeping with him, with my now brother-in-law. Problems have since arisen. First, I'm upset my sister is sleeping with someone I now consider family, and for whom this is essentially just a booty call. He won't even let her tell people they are friends and tells everyone he doesn't even like her. She keeps telling me he'll realize he actually loves her one day. Second, she now thinks it's appropriate to spend 3 to 4 nights a week at my in-laws' home and invite herself on outings she wasn't invited to. My mother-in-law and I have always been on shaky footing, and now I'm fighting jealousy over someone who isn't even dating into the family. Help. I don't want to be mad at my sister, but she's making me crazy. Signed, Twisted Sister. Okay, so the girl got married, right? She got married. And her sister has slept with his brother.
I don't see any issue in that.
No, I don't either.
Like, I think she's being super jealous because I could see the in-laws having a better relationship maybe with her
The
sister.
sister, yep.
And so now she's feeling a certain way because she's like, you're not even in this family. It doesn't matter. Like, if I have a connection, I have a connection. It is what it is.
Yeah, I don't see
But
anything wrong with it either. Like, I do think that it might be inappropriate to invite herself on outings though, that when she's not invited.
or maybe the sister just feels like she isn't invited. Maybe she's already had conversations, kind of, maybe she's closer with the mom or the brother, like he invites her, but she doesn't always know that. I don't know. Like, maybe she is invited, but not by her.
Yeah,
So
right. Maybe she's invited by like the in-laws. Like you said, they might like her better. I
it
mean, the
sounds like
truth
something like
hurts.
that.
Truth hurts.
Well, especially because you're like, oh, I'm married into this family. Oh, they're going to like me. Oh, this. Like, they could like someone completely random way better than you, because we know with relationships, friendships, it doesn't matter the time, it matters like how deep of a friendship you have. I could meet someone in 2 months and have more of a better time than someone I've known for 10 years.
Right.
So
I agree with that. I don't know. I feel like what is the problem? Like I don't see the problem. Like it's not like she's sleeping, girl.
it's not
It's not
like your
like she's
actual
sleeping with her
brother.
actual brother.
Yeah, that's some jealousy,
Oh,
because who
girl.
cares? And if you're so happy in your marriage, why are you worried about these other people too?
It's
Like,
your
enjoy the time with you have.
and thinking about it, if it's your twin sister, don't y'all have like a really not always, but usually, don't they have like an unusually like close connection with each other, right?
That's what
So
I hear.
what's wrong with her spending time with you and the rest of the family? I don't see what the issue is.
There must be some even built up jealousy, or just kind of maybe competitive, maybe, or she feels like she's still in the shine, like, I married into this family, you didn't. But they're sisters too, they're probably going to like the same thing.
That is
Twin
true.
sisters.
That's
Like,
true.
maybe she wants her husband, maybe she feels threatened. I'll be like, back the fuck up,
I
bitch.
don't think she wants her husband. Because I think it sounds like she's a little infatuated with the brother-in-law.
True.
Oh
But
well, but
like, let it be. If it's just a
yeah,
booty
I
call,
mean,
it's just a booty call. Like,
yeah. Even if it's just a booty call and he never like realizes that he actually loves her one day, who cares?
get your nut.
Who
Go
cares?
get it.
Let her make her own mistakes. it's not for you to decide her decision. She's a grown woman.
Especially being like twins, you feel, should you kind of be equal or the same, not feel like an older sister, or there's some kind of like, older sister,
So you
younger
think
sister
there's some
probably
more
vibes.
going on in the background?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it sounds just like she's just jealous. She's trying to justify why she feels some type of way about her sister sleeping with her new brother-in-law, but there really isn't anything. It's kind of weird, don't get me wrong, but it's nothing super strange. Like, we
Yeah,
usually
and then
have sex with people we're close to and around. So that sounds kind of gross, but I'm just saying, not your family, like anybody else.
girl, can we get on that real quick? I still can't get over that that first episode. I don't know if y'all
The
out
incest?
there have y'all
Oh, the
I
twin
don't know.
brothers.
Yeah, I don't know if y'all heard that episode, the first episode. If you didn't, what's wrong with you? Go back and listen to it. But in that episode, there was a set of twins that were like literally in love with each other and sleeping with each other. And I just could not, I still can't get over it. I still can't.
I listened to that and I wanted to believe it was fake. I was like, there is no way you are in.
But I be
What?
seeing like shows on like TLC or like,
It happens.
I don't remember what it is, but it's like it happens. I don't know about twins, but I've seen like, first cousins, like
On
oh my
Dr.
gosh,
Phil.
girl. When we lived in New Mexico, there was a woman. She had not been in contact with her son for a long time. And then they reconnected. And then they ended up in a freaking relationship and going to jail for it.
I think I
Like,
remember
it
that.
happens.
That's like disgusting. I just don't see how you can justify this. This is right. This is normal. This is how I'm feeling. No, you just love that person. You can
That
love
is the
them in
most,
different ways.
I don't know. That's the grossest thing I've ever. You slid out of her vagina. What the hell? Like,
And now you slide
you
it
are
right
her
back in.
egg. Like, now you slide back in. Like, ooh, that's wrong.
Like you came out head first, now you're not head first. But isn't like, and not even just behind the scientific reasons that is completely wrong. It's just anything that is your blood, that is your family. Even watching like I love me some Dr. Phil, and he has people on his show like the first cousins. It's like, that is weird. Like, no, yes, your family is kind of in the right to disown you, because I probably would too. Like, back to Homegirl with the twin sister. There's some different jealousy issues. I do believe it's not a big deal.
Okay, so
It's a
then
really affecting.
what is your advice to her?
Personally, she probably has some built up animosity towards her twin, because you can tell kind of even the way she wrote it, like, she doesn't need be in this is my family I chose, like, she's coming in, it's just a booty call.
Right.
It just seemed like there was anger, or still kind of like jealousy, hate, kind of all that mixed up. And so I think the sister who's married, she probably needs to personally get help. Not even that it's about her sister. You need to be happy in your own life and just realize, let people do what they want. You're never going to be able to control people and tell them what to do. I'm sure if she told her sister this, she'd probably fuck him more or keep doing what she's doing. Like, that's what I would do. I'm like, all right, if you don't want me to do it, I'm probably going to do it more.
I'm going to do a little bit more because I want to.
Because it's my life and I'm going to do what I want. So I think she pretty much, even she could talk to her husband about it. I believe that's something you should be able to talk about. Like, isn't that weird? Sarah's blah, blah, blah with Bob, wouldn't. But you should be able to talk about it, and maybe your husband can give you some light into it. Oh, they're just messing around. Don't look anything into it. Or you haven't think the same thing. I don't know. That would help. I think she should talk to her husband and even her sister, but she needs to get rid of the anger and the hate before she talks to her sister, like, calmly.
I don't think she even needs to talk to her sister. My advice is to mind your own motherfucking business, bitch. Your sister is a whole adult. Like, mind your business, mind your marriage, and mind your in-laws. If she want to come to some outings, let her be. That is my
Exactly.
that is my advice. Like, mind your business. This is stop being a Karen, okay?
Seriously though.
Like that is an adult. Stop it. You need to, like Melissa said, you need to find some help for yourself because that situation got
Yeah,
nothing to do with you. Period.
exactly.
Like, I don't know why. And she's
And like
causing a
it's just a
problem.
booty call. Like it's nothing. I don't
Like,
know.
let her live her life. Let her live her best life.
And that's reaching too. Like if you recently got married to this man or whatever, you should be worried about y'all and living your best life instead of be like, why is my sister always around? Be like, oh, cool, my sister gets to be around.
Yeah,
It's
why
the way
don't you just
you
incorporate
change the way
her?
you think. You should love your
I
sister being around.
I absolutely agree with that. Maybe she does need to change her thinking because be more positive about the situation. Okay, well, okay, you don't want her sleeping with your brother-in-law. There's nothing you can change about that, but you can change how you think about the situation. You can change like, oh, you know what? This is instead of thinking, oh, she's just here to hang out with whatever, you could be like, oh, I get to spend more time with my sister. I get to whatever you want to think.
Exactly. That 100%. That's what she
Yes.
should do.
She need to change
Be
her
like, just
thinking.
change your mind. And which is hard. It's like I said before, I'm good at giving advice, but taking my own, not saying I would totally change but look at it like that. Like even you're stuck in traffic
Even
and
if
feel like, oh,
you
this traffic
don't
sucks,
change your
but
mind, at least take the time to step back and see the situation or try to see your sister's side of the situation instead of just you and how you feel. Because she's a human being and she has feelings too. Okay, so let's go ahead and get to the third one. This one I read a little bit of it earlier and it's kind of funny. This one is also on freep.com. It's called Bride's Wedding Night Mistake. I saved the best one for last, okay? Bride's Wedding Night Mistake reveals groom's character. Dear Carolyn, my honeymoon and marriage are in tatters because of two words I said on my wedding night. A few years ago, I was in a very intense relationship with Rick, quote unquote. When it ended, I swore I wouldn't become so intimately involved with someone unless it was for life. I met Tom shortly afterward and knew he was the one. I shared with him my views on premarital sex, but didn't explain what happened or why. He completely supported me. We just married and had a beautiful reception, spending the night at a hotel near the airport because we were going to Europe for our honeymoon. As things heated up between us, I accidentally said, "Oh, Rick." I realized my
oh no.
I said I saved the best for last.
No.
I realized my mistake immediately, and the look of horror on my face was met by the look of hatred on his. Who's Rick? Why are you thinking about Rick when you just married me? It got really vicious. He called his parents and told them to set up a divorce attorney when he returned. Then he called my parents and introduced himself as your future ex-son in law. He asked them who Rick was and why I was moaning about him. I pleaded with him for a chance to set things straight, but he quickly got dressed and took his suitcase and my passport with him and told me not to follow him to Europe. The airlines couldn't help because I didn't have my passport, and when they tried to page him, he refused to talk to me. He's not answering my calls, and the only text he answered was one where I suggested couples counseling. He said he's not the one fantasizing about an old flame on our wedding night. I'm trying to get a passport and wonder if I should get on a plane as soon as I can to try to solve this. What should I do? Signed, Wedding Night Disaster.
What the fuck? She's fucked. She's fucked. I'm sorry. There's no way to get back from that. Oh my gosh. Because no matter what you say, even no you like you could be like, "Oh, I wasn't really thinking about him." Your subconscious thoughts were thinking about him. But if he called the parents like that,
Girl,
I don't
okay,
know.
first of all, they both, okay, she's not wrong. She made a mistake.
Yeah.
She made a mistake, but she made a really big mistake.
Wait, have you ever called the wrong guy
Hell
or
no.
wrong name? Oh, I have.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. We're not slipping past this, honey. You about to tell me this story.
You know what's hilarious? So the guy I dated in Virginia, we only dated for like a couple weeks, a month or so, but we were serious. But when we broke up, we were still messing around, and I called him Gannon, and I remember him just and he just looked at me. He was like, "What?" And I was like, "Just keep going." And it was kind
He
of
didn't hear it.
I think Gannon is such a weird name too. He could have thought it like I said something else or I didn't know, like, but like he kept going. I was like, well, that was awkward, but Gannon loves that story.
Okay, for those who don't know, Gannon is her husband.
Gannon is the love of my life.
The love of her life.
He's
She
stuck
has
with
been with
me
him for quite some time. But
on and off, and it shows like kind of where your heart is at. Because even at that time, me and Gannon weren't talking, but randomly I said his name, and I was
see,
but
it was fate.
It was fine. Exactly. But I've heard Gannon saying his ex name in sleep, and I woke up.
Oh my.
What you talking about? He was like, but he said Parker too, and I think it was just like a dream, but I was like, oh, hell no. I was like, what you dreaming about? Because I was like,
he probably woke up all disturbed, like, what is going on?
What do you want? And I was like, why are you saying her name? But granted, they did spend a lot of time together. I feel like sometimes dreams or whatever it be. But girl saying her ex's name, well, and I think it's kind of weird that she hadn't mentioned Rick to him. I feel like in relationships, a big thing you need to talk about is your past relationships. What brought y'all together? Who made me me, in a sense, not who made me, but you know, if you were with somebody for a long enough time, you thought you were going to be with somebody forever, you hold a lot of memories or your quirkiness or this or that with that person. And I feel like you should tell your future husband about all that before you're married.
Before you say his name in the middle of sex.
Exactly. Like,
okay, I won't say I understand because no.
Oh.
But what I will say is that was the last person she was with. She didn't have sex with her husband until the wedding night.
It's crazy how he took her passport and went to.
Okay, he was petty for that. Okay, he ain't all the way okay either because he stole her passport, told her not to follow him to Europe and all kinds of stuff. Like, I don't know. I guess maybe my advice is to wait until he gets back to the States. Don't get a passport and follow him to Europe. Let him have this time to calm down. Man, he is petty. He called her parents and said, your future son-in-law.
Could you imagine your daughter just get married? Like, great night. And he gets called, hey, Tom. Like,
hey, Jen, this is your soon-to-be ex-son-in-law.
And that's why I think that's why I always, with these advice columns and stuff, I do believe they do have to probably keep it a certain word minimum, but I do think there's always like more backstory to it. Because I was like, I wish Gannon would try to take my passport and do something. Look.
That's how people get on Snapped.
Exactly.
Actually, that's how you get a Lifetime movie made of yourself.
Show did.
Absolutely not. You better not. Not. All right. I think we've come to the end of the podcast.
Well, thank you, Jen, for having me.
No, thank you for being on. Would you ever consider coming back? You're probably one of my favorite people on here.
You mean I am
honestly.
your favorite
I'm
on
sorry.
here?
I said that wrong. You are one of my you are, sorry, not one. You are my favorite person on here. You've been my favorite
Oh,
person. So, would you
thank
come
you,
back? Would you
Jen. I would
consider?
always. I
Okay.
like this.
Yeah, it's
It's like we're
fun.
just having girl talk.
I know, really. That's what it is. I told you. It's go with the flow. Go with the flow. I have a Facebook. I have an Instagram under the name No Facts with Jenn. And y'all can also go to nofactswithjen.com where y'all can ask for advice. Y'all can also request to be a host on here. All right. Well, thank you
Or both.
guys for coming and listening to No Facts with Jenn. And we will see you again next week. Bye.
Bye.